Good evening. We're in Studio 6A, and it's April 27th, 2025, Sunday. It's my pleasure and honor to be speaking with Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today, Mr. Jeckovich?
Very good, very good.
You're looking well. Did you have a nice dinner?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And how are you feeling?
I feel good.
All right, great. We're reading Mr. Jeckovich's book, titled Their Mother's Sons, and it takes Mr. Jeckovich from the age of 11 to when his mother passed away at the age of 89. He cared for her since the age of 11 because his father, Marion Jeckovich, died at the age of, how old?
43.
At 43. Mr. Jeckovich, his father, Marion Jeckovich, was a legal immigrant. He came from Russia. He went through Ellis Island, and he came here to work. He worked 3 different jobs to give his family a better life, and they ended up in Niagara Falls, New York, right?
Yeah.
3063 Orleans Avenue. They came to work. They bought their first house, and very interesting enough, Mr. Jeckovich spent his entire life there. 3063 Orleans Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York. Now here's the difference. When the immigrants came through 120 years ago, they came here to work. Mr. Jeckovich's father, as I said, worked 3 jobs. They were never handed out anything from the government. I guarantee you they would never accepted it if they were. They just don't do that. If they don't earn it, they don't accept it. So the immigrants back then, they came to work. Simple as that. To better the country, to better their family. Now when the immigrants come in today, 20 million of them, they come here to work the system.
Yeah.
Work the system. Work the system. You can see immigrants in your supermarkets with a huge income from federal government, including large amounts of food stamps. Food stamp numbers are huge, in the thousands per family, and they don't have no intentions of working. They will never work. They'll work the system. So now you have a man that's working a regular job in, say, public supermarket, buying hamburger, working his ass off, when you have an illegal immigrant picking $30 to $40 a pound steak. What a system. What a difference between the immigrants that came through 125 years ago and the absolute garbage and the absolute trash that's coming in today just to work the system. Work the system, take what you can, and leave all the taxpayers picking up the bills, and they live better than the people paying their bills, and that's a fact. So you don't have an accent, Mr. Jeckovich. How come?
What?
You don't have an accent. How?
Okay, my parents talked English at home.
And what did they say about the language you speak at home?
When you're American, you speak English. You don't speak Russian or Polish.
So many of your neighbors were Polish, Italian, and some were Greek. Yeah. But it was amazing how many immigrants flocked to Niagara Falls 100 years ago. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And actually back then, I saw that they had many mansions around the water.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful mansion. Didn't you work at one mansion?
No, yeah, it was Tone's mansion. Yeah, Professor Tone's.
Yeah, Tone. And that's one of the actors. No one probably knows him now, but he was dating Betty Garble back in the day. And the father of the mansion, Tone, he was a sole owner of Kimberly Clark.
Yeah.
And he got Mr. Jeckovich's father a job there, and he got Mr. Jeckovich's mother a job there.
Yeah.
What did your mother do at
Small Wheels Inspector? Small Wheels Inspector.
I see. And did she work many years there?
Yeah, 10, 15 years until the younger people wanted her to get out.
Why did they want her to get out?
Because they were taking her livelihood away from them.
So the Franchitone Mansion, you should Google it and see how beautiful it was, is on 151 Buffalo Avenue in Niagara Falls, New York. I mean, when you're at that mansion, your backyard is the rapids. And a few hundred yards from that is the actual drop of the falls.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sound. It's a beautiful smell. Still is today. What kind of work did you do at that mansion?
Finish the tones?
Yeah.
Put the store windows up, did some stuff down in the cellar, put a fruit cellar on. Put sidewalks in for them.
How about building a dollhouse for Sally?
We built the dollhouse for Sally there.
Yeah. An interesting side note, 151 Buffalo Avenue, when the Franchitone family were all gone in 1961, the estate sold the property, and sitting on it today is a high-rise apartment building called Parkway Apartments.
Yeah.
And it's still there today.
Yeah.
I could just imagine 60-year-old apartment building, what functional obsolescence it has, with small doors,
Yeah.
with low ceilings,
Yeah.
tiny bathrooms.
Yeah.
But they do have one thing going on, it's a view of the rapids and the falls.
Yeah.
It's right on, it's a choice property. Also, Mr. Franchitone's father was an alumni of Cornell, and he was actually instrumental in getting your brother Steve into Cornell.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So there was a lot of good benefits when you worked for Franchitone,
Yeah.
wasn't there?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's really amazing. But things were so much different there in the falls with all the mansions and all the commerce and all the stores. And now what's it like?
Yeah.
What's it like now?
It's a dump.
It's gone. It used to be a city, and now the population's dropped so low, it's only considered a village.
Yeah.
How do you think it went to a complete ghetto from such beauty?
Yeah.
How do you think this
There was
happened?
people coming in.
But how do you think, what happened to all the money? What happened to all the beautiful real estate?
The mafia took over and got the money out and then left.
And then they dumped it.
Yeah.
Where'd the mob go?
Probably back to New York.
Yeah. So now you've seen it now. What does it look like?
Right.
You've seen the Niagara Falls now.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Describe when you were growing up what the neighborhood of 3063 Orleans Avenue was looking like.
It was a nice neighborhood. There was only 2 houses on the street. Street wasn't paved, and you had a yard long. It looked like the outside window. You could see Deputy's store, and you could see
Hyde Park?
you could see, not the Hyde Park, you could see the stadium.
No kidding, the baseball stadium.
Yeah.
Football. Now, when you were a boy, you said that you had ice skating rings on your street. How did that happen?
Well, over fire hydrant filled the street.
Yeah. Well, that's a wonderful thing. A simple thing like young boys want to ice skate and play hockey on their street. They just get a big wrench. They
Yeah.
pop open the fire hydrants.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen to you today?
You get arrested.
Yeah. How things have changed. Innocent thing like playing hockey and ice skating in your street would turn into arrest today, and it really would. It truly would. Mr. Jeckovich was born on October 17th, 1925, and now we're in 2025, and Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100. Mr. Jeckovich was born during the Great Depression. How did that affect you?
Well, I was small then, so I didn't understand it. I fed well, but I was kept warm. My parents took care of us.
So it's pretty easy then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ate well.
Yeah. Wow. And as a boy, go over the type of jobs you had in Niagara Falls as a boy.
I was a paper boy.
What paper?
Gina Glasinski, the Polish paper.
Uh-huh. And did your mother read it?
Just obituary.
Did she know most of the people that died?
Some of them, yeah.
Uh-huh. I remember a funny story about your mother, Anna Targus Jeckovich. Her husband died at an early age of 43, and on the on the cemetery stone, there was his date of birth and when he died. And then as the wife, there was Anna Target Jeckovich below, and since she has not deceased at the time, there was a blank where that date would be. Eventually will be there for sure. But when she was born, what'd she do?
She taped the date up.
She brought some masking tape and taped the date up when she was born.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I guess the same old story. You never talk about a lady's age or her weight. I guess it held true back then. Yeah. Held true back then. Mr. Jeckovich was in Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, right? Today's a gift. Mr. Jeckovich went in as a young boy. He was drafted. Why'd you wait to get drafted?
I was taking care of my mother. My mother was old.
Yeah, so that's the sacrifice he made. If he would have enlisted, you get a much better job. You get a cushy job. For example, his brother enlisted, and he ended up teaching people stateside to drive a Jeep lessons, to drive.
Yeah.
Was he an excellent driver?
No, I ran into a fire hydrant once.
He ran the fire hydrant. So there's a good example. If you enlist, you can pick a lot better position.
Yeah.
But Mr. Jeckovich waited to get drafted so he could spend more time caring for his mother because he was a sole provider. And then when that happens, when you get drafted, chances are almost definitely that you're going to the front line of a war, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go to the front line of the war. Mr. Jeckovich, during World War II, was shot up, beat up, stabbed, bombed. He still has shrapnel in his leg, trench foot, and frostbite. Right?
I got the frostbite right now.
Frostbite 80 years later is still bothering his right foot. It doesn't go away. Still has that shrapnel in his leg. What happens when you try to get on an airplane?
You got to give a ticket saying when that thing goes off. You got to show me those cards you have.
So what other injuries did you have? Frostbite?
Lost a hip.
Lost the yeah. And he made it out. Yeah. He also received the Bronze Star, the Purple Heart, the Army Good Conduct Medal, American Campaign Medal, European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, with 3 Bronze Service Stars. He received the World War II Victory Medal, an Army of Occupation Medal with a German clasp, a Combat Infantry badge, a Sharpshooter badge with carbine, pistol, and machine gun bars, Marksman badge with rifle bar, Honorable Service lapel buttons, World War II. So you were pretty busy during the war.
Yeah.
You were pretty busy. On a side note, when Mr. Jeckovich and all the teenage boys right out of high school were in the Army, they were affectionately referred to as a Diaper Division.
And they were all like kids, 19 years old.
Because that's what they said.
Yeah.
19-year-old and
33s, there was 33s.
Yes, 33 is the code that military uses for teenagers. And they affectionately, I repeat that, not derogatory, I'll call them the Diaper Division because they're so young. But an interesting fact and an interesting side note, when Mr. Jeckovich was in the Battle of Bulge, they had strict instructions to hold the stone. They were caught off guard by 600,000 combat Nazis and 6,000 tanks, and it was unprecedented that Hitler would send his troops through the Ardennes forest because it's too thick for tanks, and it was the coldest winter record.
Yeah.
But at this point, Hitler was completely unhinged. completely unhinged, and this was his last-ditch effort to cause physical property damage and to kill more Americans. So Mr. Jeckovich and his troops' orders were, do under no circumstances let the Nazis move into Bastogne. Don't do it, because there would be horrible results. There'd be horrible results for the winning of the war. So as a long minutes?
14.
So as a result, 97% casualties. Mr. Jeckovich was lucky to survive, and I believe most probably he survived by his mother praying the rosaries every night, a devout Roman Catholic for his safety, and a former nun, Renee, from Paris praying the rosary every night for his safety. So he didn't come unscathed. He had lots of damages to his bodies, gunshots, bombs, etc. We mentioned that earlier, but he did live. And so now, when they refer to the Diaper Division, they don't speak that way anymore. Now they're referred to as the Bloody Bastards of Bastogne. The Bloody Bastards of Bastogne. And that was what you hear in your history books as the Battle of Bulge. From there, with bolt cutters, 1,000 guys, and Mr. Jeckovich broke open the gates at the Holocaust camps and prisoner of war camps, and that was not a sight you want to think of or try, or you can't get out of your mind. It was horrific things that took place there. And what do they tell you when you see the prisoners not to do?
Don't feed them.
Why not feed them?
Their system is all mixed up.
Big strapping soldiers, 200 pounds, and now they're down to 60 or 70. Don't even have the energy to walk. Don't even have the energy to walk. It was miserable conditions in those camps. It was just actually pure torture. It was actually pure torture. Example after example of the horrible things the guards did to these guys. They had no shoes, of course, but they barely had any clothing. And just for the fun of it, when it's 30 below, the asswipe guards would take a fire hose and hose them down in the middle of the yard just for a giggle.
Yeah.
That's how sick these people are. That's how sick these people are. Let's hope we never see that again. Let's hope we never see that again. So, we're on the second time around in Mr. Jeckovich's book. How many pages is it?
849.
849. We're second time around. We're on page 105. And on this chapter, its title is Getting to Know You. What is Getting to Know You about? It's about Mr. Jeckovich during his boot camp weekends off. He met a nice girl named Ann Mahaney from Owensboro, Kentucky, and he started dating her. And now it's titled Getting to Know You. They did a lot of things together for the first 3 weeks, and now he recently went to Ann's house and met her mother, and that went over well. So this is picking up on page 105, and I'll read a few pages of that. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to read some?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'll need your dog tag number.
42965.
That's the number that opens up the laptop for to read the book. Let's see. We sat there holding each other and watching the movie Lights Down Below, thinking how similar the movement was to our fleeting lives. To break the nostalgic spell we had gotten ourselves into, I jokingly asked her if I could see her again. She put her finger upon my lips. Minutes?
10.
She put her finger upon my lips. Okay. And told me to stop talking like that. I kissed her again and said that I was a lucky person to have met her, being with her now. She said nothing, but held my hand tightly and snuggled more into my shoulder. We must have sat in the car for several hours, for when I looked at my watch, it was 0130 hours. Did you ever get late for going back to camp?
The roll call was 4:30.
You never got late?
Yeah.
I looked about the area, and most of the cars are gone. I told Ann my concern of the late hour and that we should be leaving. She agreed and proceeded to leave the bluff. As we drove off, I told her my treat. I was hungry, and I asked her where she would like to go this late hour for something to eat. She laughed and touched my arm and said, "Thank you for the lovely evening. I shall think of it often." I replied, I was not leaving yet. It was just getting interesting. We drove down the Ewing Road, crossed Main Street, and headed south of Crabtree Avenue until we got to West 9th Street. A little way down West 9th Street, Ann pulled into a small parking lot with a huge neon sign blazing away in front of the squat rectangular brick building. The sign blared out for all to see, "Big Al's Diner." Big Al's Burgers.
Yeah,
You remember that?
Yeah.
How was Big Al's Burgers?
They were good, yeah.
Yeah. The dinner inside was modestly furnished and almost bordered on being penurious. With its bright red imitation leather booths, each with its own diminutive jukebox, where for a quarter you could be able to select the latest hit tune of the day. I ordered a Big Ale burger and did not want anything but coffee. As we waited for our order, Ann asked if I'd be able to get another weekend pass, and I said it was doubtful, and I would not be able to get one for several weeks. And as if I got one the last 3 weekends off, which was unusual. That was unusual, right? Yeah. She asked about possibly of her coming to the camps for a day visit. Are ladies allowed to come on the camp property?
No.
Not allowed.
No.
I said I did not know if that was possible, but I'd find out. Our order arrived and the burger was huge, which prompted Ann to giggle a bit and suggest I could cut her a piece, as it looked delicious. Soon she was not a great eater, nor did I want her to be, but sometimes wondered how she kept her body and soul together. She would nibble at one item, then another, and never really taken the entire meal as one large feast. As we sat and talked and ate my Big Ale burger, I asked her if she had any idea of time. "Who cares?" she mumbled. "My mouth is full of Big Al's burger." It so happened that time was 02:30 hours, and I said I should be thinking about heading for our respective homes. I don't want to go home. I enjoy myself too much," she related, touching the napkin to her sensuous lips. Being realistic, I suggested that we'd drive across town to Weatherbury's where I was staying, and she would have a long drive to Frederica's place, to her place. By then it would be 500 hours. She agreed half-heartedly, took another sip of the third coffee, and a cup of coffee, and said that she was going to freshen up a bit before we left. I always look forward to Ann's return, her freshening up ritual. When she applied new makeup and came back with a fragrance which was enchanting and intoxicating. Okay, that's 106. Do you feel like answering any questions?
No.
Do you want to answer any texts?
No.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Jeckovich, if you'd like to ask him any questions, just text him at 407-366-0000. He'll be glad to ask any questions. Hey, you went into the military, World War II, as a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that, did you shoot any guns?
Shoot any guys?
Guns. Did you shoot
Yeah,
guns?
no, yeah.
Prior to going into the service, when you're a civilian, did you have guns at home?
No, never. My father didn't go hunting or nothing. We didn't have a gun or pistol or anything. Nothing.
Your father had a gun?
No.
No. So prior to going into service, you never fired a gun.
No.
You worked heavy machine guns during the service, so you probably blew off about 1 million rounds. Now, after you left the service, did you buy a gun?
No.
So the only time in your whole entire life was in the military.
Yeah.
That's so interesting, yeah. That's so interesting. Wow. Wow. As a boy, did you know any magic tricks?
Did I do any magic
Yeah.
tricks? No.
No. Wow. As a boy, there wasn't TVs and there wasn't cell phones, there wasn't video games. What was the simplest ways that you had fun as a boy? What kind of things did you do as
I
a
would
boy?
build stuff with wood.
Oh, Bill. Yeah. You jogged for 80 years, correct?
Yeah.
And what got you started jogging?
I read a book on Johnson's book on running.
All right. How many minutes we got there?
3, just under 4.
How did your parents meet in Niagara Falls?
Huh?
How did your parents meet in Niagara Falls?
They didn't eat. They met in Buffalo.
Oh, they met in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And do you know how long they dated before they were married?
No.
No. Do you have any idea how they met?
No.
No.
They never talked about it.
They didn't talk much, right?
No.
No, yeah. Yeah. Wow. As a boy, what was your favorite gum?
Gum?
Gum.
Gum? I didn't chew gum.
Oh, you did? Did your mother chew gum?
No.
No. Wow.
My father didn't chew gum either.
Right, right. Did you have any cats or dogs as a pet when you were a boy?
No.
No. Wow. What was your favorite subject in school?
English?
Oh, English. Did you ever write any poems?
No. I wrote articles. I didn't write poems. No.
Oh, I see. I see. Were you scared of the dark as a boy?
No.
As a boy, did you jump rope?
No.
No? Wow. That's interesting. As a boy, your mother made a lot of nice sandwich for you when she worked at SS Kresge's.
Yeah.
And she asked you not to eat up at the front bar. She wanted you to go in the basement.
Yeah.
But what was your best sandwich that your mother would make for you from SS Kresge?
What?
What was the best sandwich type that your mother would
That
make?
she made for me?
Yeah.
Oh, a roast beef sandwich.
That was a good one?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Were you popular in school?
You know what?
Were you popular in school?
No.
No? Why not?
Well, I was quiet.
You were quiet. So are you introverted or extroverted?
Introverted.
Yeah. Wow. Did you like musicals when you were in school?
Musicals?
Yeah.
I like the band music and that.
Okay.
One minute.
Do you think marriage is still sacred in today's society?
Marriage?
Is still sacred in today's society?
No, it isn't. It's-
No.
Well, too much hindrance,
Too much?
too
What?
much obstacle in their way.
Yeah, a lot of obstacles. And last year in Florida, there was 90,000 divorces. And
Oh,
what was the
boy.
main reason?
See, money.
Money.
Yeah.
Money. Poor young people have to work 3 jobs each, always at each other's throat, not enough money. And the houses are so high they can't even buy a house.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
And now it's
can't
worse.
They can't even afford a house. It's a shame. Basic housing. Minutes?
30 seconds.
I see. So when you lived at 63 Orleans Avenue, did you also have your mother living downstairs and you lived upstairs?
Yeah, yeah.
That was a nice arrangement.
Yeah.
And your wife Delphine Stulak Jeckovich, she cared for your mother.
Oh, yeah.
So they got
The
along
best
really
friend,
well.
yeah, best friend my mother had, yeah.
Best thing. And tell us about how they go shopping together.
Well, after I learned to tell Delphine how to drive, she grabbed her all the time to go shopping, especially in Canada.